Do you ever feel overwhelmed when you're trying to get guidance or insight into what you should do or decision that you need to make? Maybe you find yourself confused or overwhelmed at times. This video, we're going to cover three simple yet profoundly impactful steps that are going to allow you to receive the guidance and the insight with clarity, assurity, and a sense of security. But stay with me to the end because the third step is the most impactful that will truly be a game changer. So just two foundational preliminary items I want to cover before we get into the three steps. The first one is to know when you're doing this process, it's best to do this process around you and around decisions that you need to be making for yourself and just yourself. The best thing with this practice to really build up your trust and your process of knowing when you're really attaining that lovely higher inner guidance is to just make decisions and choices and to use these things with smaller things that pertain just to yourself, meaning you wouldn't want to start off practicing making big decisions, say, for the family or big decisions, say, for your business, but rather smaller things for you. For example, good practices may be to look at places in your life, like things that pertain just to you, like, oh, should or shouldn't I take this class? Oh, should I go out with my friends this night or should I stay in and get rest? Less impactful decisions that have less of an impact in the overall scheme of your life. To start off with small things, just to give you a sense of your own rhythm and your own ability to make these decisions just for yourself. That is until you get more comfortable with this process and become more attuned to this process, knowing truly when you are attaining that higher guidance, and then do it in areas of your life that are a bit more impactful. And so another item is to just really understand that no matter what you've tried in the past, the truth is you know truly what is best for you at all times. Your higher guidance, your higher beingness is with you at each and every moment. It's just that many times when we think that we're connecting with it, there's fears and there's programming and filters and things that get in the way that halt or hinder our ability to truly access that higher guidance. So just know that no matter what you've tried in the past, that you truly are connected in that way and you truly do know what's best for you at any given moment. So without further ado, let's get into these three simple yet quite powerful steps that will allow you to really be able to access that higher inner guidance. Step one, make sure that you're making space to connect in with the inner guidance. Many times we don't make the proper space for ourselves, but rather we rush in or trying to make choices or decisions or attain the higher guidance when we have a bit of anxiousness behind it or of a sense of desperation, or we don't really create the sacred space, meaning we're fitting it in as we're rushing in between things, or we're trying to hasten a choice or decision. In order to make the proper space for these decisions, it's about slowing down. The action of slowing down allows us then to create a proverbial etheric space, if you will, that allows us to really ground in to a solid space that allows us to be able to reach deep within ourselves to attain the guidance that we're looking for. There are many ways that you can make this space to connect in with the inner guidance. Meditation is one of those where you can get very still within your mind and your body and sit in stillness and create that space. Another way of creating the space is to go out into nature. Nature is a very expansive, high vibrational space that you can take advantage of. Taking a stroll in nature and letting go of the outside world, so to speak, can help you also to create that space. You can also create that space just in your mind or heart. You can create an imaginary space a high vibrational space that allows you to really connect in and lift up and become or gain alignment in a higher vibrational, clean space that you can create through your imagination. Imagining a white room, imagining your beautiful, warm heart light, and creating a space within yourself through your imagination and intention is also another powerful way to attain that inner guidance. Okay, so once you've created the space for yourself, we can go to step number 2. And step number 2 is all about the NBO. NBO stands for neutrality, bring in the question, and open to receive. It is important that once you've created that beautiful space for yourself to go into that inner guidance, that you do it through a place of neutrality. And neutrality allows for us to not fall into the negativities or fear-based thoughts of the lower ego. When you are in a place of neutrality, then you're open to receive no matter what. You're not hoping that it's going to be one outcome or another. You're not fearful that some other kind of choice might come in or fearful of the insight. You're in a complete place of neutrality. You're not really looking for it to be a certain thing, but you're not looking for it to not be a certain thing. You're in a place of neutrality. And from that place, you can then bring in the question. So if you were meditating, you'd be sitting in meditation, and then you would, once you got very clear, and once you were truly in that place of neutrality, you can just bring in the question into your body. And you can imagine it like as if it's coming through, your power column, ascension column, coming through the crown into the body, into the heart. That is one beautiful way of imagining it. But of course, you can imagine it in any way, shape, or form. So long as you're in that neutrality, you can then bring in the question, and then you want to open to receive. And it's kind of a fine line between opening to receive and grasping for something to come in. When you open to receive, again, you're opening in neutrality. You're not trying to figure it out. You're not trying to think about what it would be. It's really a heart-based, putting the feeling sensors out to receive whatever is coming in through your 5 senses. So when you open to receive, it may come in as an idea. It may come in as a voice, sounding maybe like your own voice. It may come in as an image or a blip of an impression. It may come in as a feeling. You may feel it in the body. Whatever it is for you, it's coming in through one of your 5 senses, right? Whether it's what you're seeing, smelling, touching, feeling, knowing, it's coming in through one of those senses, and you're not grasping for what it might be, and you're not in your mind trying to figure it out either, but rather you're more sitting in that open neutrality space with an open heart and opening to receive whatever impulses, insights, downloads, information, perceptions, impressions, however it comes for you, you're opening to receive. Okay, so now you have created the beautiful space for yourself. You've gone through your NBO in neutrality, bringing in the question, and then opening to receive. And now we get to our step 3. And this is the most important step out of all of the steps, is to discern. We need to discern whether the guidance or the impulse or the insight that we have received is truly coming from our higher guidance and not coming from a more lower ego-based place. Discerning is the action of bringing into your body what the sense and the feeling and the perception of whether something, whether it's an idea, an impression, or a feeling, is really coming from your higher guidance or coming from the lower ego-based, fear-based. And one of the best ways to know that is the idea, the insight, the direction that you received, is it coming from a place of love, or is it coming from a place of fear? This is the number one, like, juiciest way to really know discern whether something is actually for your highest and greatest good or not. That discernment. And one of the ways that I work with this is if it's a soft, loving, gentle, if it's a simple impression or insight or download or information, typically that's coming from the higher realms. The higher realms is the subtle energy. It's never forceful, right? It's never commanding. It's never like, jabbing at you. It's a very subtle, soft kind of an energy. It's a very loving, it's a very non-judgmental. That's like really a good one, right? Non-judgmental. Meaning if, for example, if I'm asking, oh, should I break up with my boyfriend or not? I don't know, right? Then when I go into that, I create the space, I do my NBO, I'm in neutrality, I'm bringing in that question, and I open myself to receive. And if I'm getting things like, it's really for the highest and greatest good for all of us, he will move on, I will find peace. Yes, it'll be difficult, but there'll be comfort there. Yes, you know that it really is in the highest alignment to move on from this relationship at this time. Like those are the kinds of feelings or impressions, or if it was of the higher, right? Of course, if it's for the highest and greatest good that you do, move on from that relationship, of course. But that would be a higher guidance, right? It's a more open, expansive energy. It's not judgmental. It's not immediate, pressing kind of an energy. However, if the energy comes in and after I create the space and I bring in the question, I do my NBO, I open up to receive, and I'm getting, oh yeah, he's good for nothing, or I'm getting, you so need to get away from him. He's horrible, or if you're getting any kind of like judgmental energy or an energy of like a feeling of like a push, like, oh yeah, I really need to, it really needs to happen right now. If I don't do it, there's going to be more problems, or if I don't do it, those are all energies that are from the lower realm, right? From the lower ego-based, fear-based, right? We're looking at, when you discern, you're looking at, is the energy coming in coming from love, or is the energy coming in coming from fear, right? Or at least is the energy more neutral, or is the energy more like lower, consciousness, lower ego fear-based, like I'm afraid that I'm going to lose something. I'm afraid that if I leave him, this is going to happen. I'm afraid that if I do this, then that. Those are a surefire way to know that it's coming from the lower based ego. What you may want to do at that point, if you're getting just lower level ego fear based thoughts and feelings, you'd want to write them out. Write out all your fears, channel out all your concerns and worries and all of that. And that's going to help to clear your channel. It's going to help to clear you so that you can then be able to really access the higher guidance. So you want to channel it out. You could write it out, exercise it out. If there's anger, fear, worry, all that, you can punch it out. Whatever works for you, you want to channel through and release the energetic charge around the worry or the fear, the concern, so on and so forth, by like, again, writing it out, punching it out, exercising it out, going for a walk, and then reapproaching the process yet again and discerning again, seeing where is it coming from? Is it coming from the lower levels? Is it coming from the higher levels? And just remember that the lower levels have a tendency to really take up a lot more space in our consciousness because they're a lot louder and noisier and a lot more attention grabbing. So really through this 3-step process, you're really learning to attune more to the subtle energies, which is that higher guidance that is within you at all time. So that's really what you're practicing here, is to develop your sensitivity to that higher guidance by being more aware of when the lower guidance, the fear-based guidance, is coming in, and then knowing that you can channel that out of your body to create more space within yourself, to be able to attain more clarity within yourself, so you can get through all that noisiness of the lower levels and really be able to get into that place of clarity where you can attune into the higher level guidance. So there you have it, the 3 steps, making the space to connect with the inner guidance. Step number 2, NBO, being in a place of neutrality, bringing in the question and opening to receive. And number 3, discern for yourself whether this is higher guidance or lower guidance. And remember that this is a practice. You're practicing, you're building that sensitivity muscle, if you will. You're building that ability to really be able to see through, sense through, feel through all the minutia and the muck and the confusion, and be able to really tune into that higher guidance that you have within you at all times. So I would love to hear from you what works for you and how you go through your process of attaining that and connecting with and grounding in that inner guidance into your life. I'd love to hear from you how that's working for you or how it's not working for you. And any questions that you may have, I welcome them in the comments. Thank you so much. And if you did enjoy this, please do like, share, and subscribe. It helps a fledgling channel like mine to grow, to share the message of ascension and awakening with all. So thank you so much. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And until next time, bye-bye.